That's your warning. Final warning.
So during this character profile, we're not going to talk too much about the film, although I do have a couple of bits that make more sense to bring up here, but more the origins of them. So in one of the post-credit scene, we did get the Council of Kangs, which it was really funny to see because TikTok kind of instantly went, "Oh, so it's like the Council of Rich from Rick and Morty," but that was inspired by the Council of Kangs and the Council of Reed Richards and stuff. It's just funny. Anyway, so the Council of Kangs first appeared in Avengers number 267, all the way back in February 1986. So initially, the first or the main real arc that centered around the Council of Kangs was created and it was a group led by Prime Kang.
Okay.
But the group kind of got manipulated by Mortus, a Kang variant, into eliminating all divergent Kangs in the multiverse to ensure that Prime Kang would become a Mortus.
Okay.
Yeah? So divergent doesn't necessarily mean they were good Kangs or bad Kangs, just different. And that's very important here because it's kind of what we saw in Quantumania with the Kang we were dealing with getting shafted, essentially.
Yeah.
He was just doing things differently, so the council's like, he's got to go. Which is interesting when you consider it that way, and maybe that'll have a bigger role to play. But they're just kind of I don't think in the comics they've been used to their full extent as much as they could have been outside that one main story. They pop up occasionally and they'll have them cool scenes. It's a cool thing to be able to draw this big citadel with Kangs. And obviously in the film we got to see a couple of different Kang variants from the council who we'll go into a little bit later. But it will be very interesting to see how they use the council in the MCU. Are they themselves the big bad? Or are they going to be a stopover shop big bad? And then once they crumble, the prime and most dangerous Kang will arise from the ashes.
I think,
and I have a theory about that we will discuss when we're discussing the film. But the Council of the Kangs was very cool Easter egg to see, very cool post-credit scene, and they're a big part of Kang lore, being a time traveler, universe hopper. Like the idea that all these Kangs are so intelligent that they seek each other out to build this way of communicating is a pretty neat concept. And I think it would be a lot more mind-blowing to people if not for shows like Rick and Morty that had already toyed around with that same idea.
Yeah, I get you. It would have been like a kind of a bigger reveal, maybe.
Yeah. Whereas, so many people have seen Rick and Morty. A lot of them episodes are centered around the Citadel of Ricks. So they saw that and like they have a reference point for what that's like. They're like, oh, there'll be internal politics and all that stuff. Whereas if Rick and Morty hadn't done that thing, people might have seen that and gone, whoa, what the fuck is this? There's loads of them. And some people have still had that reaction. Obviously, not everyone who watches Marvel films watches Rick and Morty, but there's enough of a crossover there that people are like, oh, okay, I kind of get how this works.
Well, yeah.
I think the internet would have been a much more fun day if no one had seen anything like this before.